Hi, I'm Jonna with Bee's Knees, and today we're going to talk about Citristrip safety. So I don't know if you were like me, but I definitely jumped on the Citristrip tumbler bandwagon, and I was doing it for some time, and honestly, I think I started to get a little side effect from doing it. Now, I was doing both the time method, where you put the Citristrip on your tumbler and you just let it sit there for 30 minutes to 2 hours, and then you scrape it off. And I was also doing the heat method, where you put the Citristrip on and then you heat it with a heat gun and you quickly get the paint off. So that got me thinking, and I in no way know if the side effect was related to doing this, but it got me thinking about the safety. And was I protecting myself and doing everything correctly when I was using Citristrip on these tumbler projects? Now, Citristrip itself is one of the safer paint and varnish removers on the market that you can get. It does not contain methylene chloride or methylprednisolone or something along those lines. It's called NMP for short. So these are some nasty things that are in some paint strippers or have been in the past, and Citristrip does not have these. It is safe to be used indoors, and it's non-corrosive, so it's not going to damage the stainless steel underneath your paint on your tumbler. And while Citristrip is biodegradable, just keep in mind that you're removing paint that's going to be mixed in with it, and that is probably not biodegradable, so just keep that in mind when you're disposing of it. So let's talk about safety. With the time method, the safety is pretty basic. So you will want to do a few things. One, you'll always want to wear gloves, because the main ingredient in Citristrip is benzyl alcohol. In fact, I think it's about 30 to 60%. And that can cause burns on your skin. So you will want to wear, I wear these, they're nitrile gloves. You do not want to wear latex gloves, because the Citristrip will eat through latex, but it will not eat through the nitrile. So if Citristrip can burn your skin, you definitely want to make sure your eyes are protected. So wear some protective eyewear. I like these. They're a little bit stylish. But they're nice and lightweight, and they protect anything from splashing up in my eyes, which Citristrip is pretty thick. It doesn't splash too much, but better safe than sorry. And then lastly, with the time method, you will want to make sure you're using Citristrip in a well cross-ventilated room. So open up all of the windows and the doors, make sure you have fresh air coming in. If you need to get some fans involved, to do that as well. I mean, ideally, if you can and the conditions are right, it's best to do this outside, but it is definitely safe for indoor use. Just make sure you keep that ventilation in whatever room you're doing it in. Doing it in the basement, not the best idea. So I feel pretty safe with the time method. If I'm doing all those things, if I'm well ventilated, have my gloves on, have my safety eyeglasses on, I'm feeling pretty good. I'm going by, following the instructions on the Citristrip. I don't think I'm in any danger. Now, the more complicated piece is when you are using the heat method. So for the heat method, you do want to make sure you're following all the same safety precautions that I just listed for the time method. So you want your gloves, you want your safety glasses, and you want a very well ventilated space. What you're doing in the heat method is, like I said, you put that Citristrip on, you let it soak in for about maybe 10 minutes, and then you apply heat with your heat gun, and you're often going up to 700 degrees. So you are heating up that Citristrip in that powder coat paint. And what that's doing is that's releasing fumes, and you are breathing in those fumes. So the question is, are those fumes toxic, are dangerous, or harmful, or even just irritating to your body? So like I said before, the Citristrip is mainly benzyl alcohol, and I did some research on that, and when that's heated, it can release irritating but not hazardous fumes. So I'm not sure I love irritating fumes, but they're not, at least they're not toxic. The fumes I'm more concerned about are the fumes that are coming from that powder coat of paint that you are removing from the tumbler, because the fumes being released largely depend on what was used in that powder coat. Some pigments or hardening agents put in powder coat can be toxic. A couple examples of these chemicals are styrene and xylene, so they can both be found in either Duracoat or powder coat, and they should not be breathed in. When they produce fumes, they are harmful. So I have no way of knowing what is going into these powder coatings, these Duracoats that I'm removing from the tumbler. That's when I'm heating it, it's releasing these fumes. So even if it does have something toxic in it, I don't necessarily know if those quantities are great enough to harm me or how long I have to be exposed to them. But honestly, I don't really want to find out. So if I know when I'm heating the Citristrip in this paint coat up that it is releasing fumes, which that is true, it's releasing fumes, and I know at best one of these is an irritant, and at worst, I could be getting toxic fumes and breathing those in. So even though I don't know exactly what I'm breathing in, I'm just gonna err on the side of caution. So I stopped doing the heat method for a while until I had all the proper safety gear. And what you need is a vapor respirator. So when I say wear a mask, I'm not talking about the N95 that we probably all have sitting around our houses nowadays. That will not do anything. That is a particle mask. You need an organic vapor respirator. So I bought one of these alien looking things. This one is by 3M and it's a half face. So it covers half my face, leaves me plenty of room to put on my safety glasses. So I'm looking very, very hot when I'm crafting. But the key part of this is getting the right cartridge. 2 come in a pack, and of course I had to get the pink one, but then those just attach to here. So then when I'm doing the heat method with my Citristrip, I'm feeling protected. My one other concern was, okay, I have this on, I'm heating it up to 700 degrees. Sometimes I go a little bit crazy. Once I tried 1200 degrees, totally melted everything off my tumbler. I don't recommend it, but I was experimenting. So I'm getting everything hot. So I was worried, is this gonna burst into flames? So I did a little bit more research, and right now with the ingredients in Citristrip, it is non-combustible. So it is not going to burst out into flames. I've had it up to 1200 degrees and it has not done that yet. And if for some reason something did catch on fire, it can be extinguished, of course, with a fire extinguisher, but I don't normally craft with one beside me. Maybe I should, but I don't. But I do have, since I'm doing the Citristrip, I always do have my bucket of water. So, worst case, something happened, you can use water to put out any fire that might occur with Citristrip. But again, it is non-combustible. So I am not very worried about it suddenly bursting into flames. I hope this information has been helpful to you as you start or continue your Citristrip tumbler etching journey. Thanks for joining me.